ఇప్పుడు మనం థర్డ్ ఫేజ్లో ఎక్కడ ఉన్నామంటే పొలిటీషియన్స్ ఆర్ ఓనింగ్ న్యూస్ పేపర్స్ అండ్ దే ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ దేర్ ఓన్ అజెండా అని కూడా దేర్ మోటివ్స్ దేర్ రీజన్స్. నా ప్రశ్న కొంచెం క్లారిఫికేషన్. See, when you made that statement in the form of a question, you probably had somebody in mind, some individual in mind. I have not allowed myself to be under anybody's influence with their words or with their personality. Sushma Swaraj anundi, she was external affairs minister. She used to take notice of them in Delhi and give directions to the officials to rescue those people. అంటే ఈ లోకం పుట్టింది నువ్వు పుట్టడం తోటి అనుకుంటున్నావా అని ఎందుకు అట్లా చూస్తున్నావు? No, life goes on for everyone. Life goes on for everyone. I don't think anybody in specific would like to సందర్భం వస్తే people remember in a context.
The most overused phrase in Indian media.
That breaking news thing, which is as old as 8 hours or 10 hours.
You know how every bride dreams of that one perfect moment walking down the aisle? All eyes on her, feeling completely beautifully herself. That's exactly what Alekia Bridals is all about. I have seen their work, and honestly, it's not just about gowns and saris. It's about how they make you feel. Whether it's an elegant Christian wedding gown or a traditional bridal sari, Alekia Bridals brings the same personal touch to everything they do. Looking like a bride you have always dreamed of doesn't have to come with a heavy price tag. They have showrooms in Hyderabad, Secunderabad, Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam and beyond. And they offer also video consultations if you can't make it in person. And hey, they understand that every bride is unique. So even simple alterations start at a really reasonable price because looking your best shouldn't come with stress. So if your big day is coming up or someone you love is getting married, Alekia Bridals is a name to remember. And today I'm very grateful that Alekia Bridals is sponsoring our episode, and they have also believed in our vision and sponsored the Move concert which happened recently. Hello everybody, welcome to Can't Count Them Presents podcast. This is your host Navina and I'm super duper excited to see you. He wears many hats. Journalist, filmmaker, performer, author and songwriter. For nearly 38 years, he has told stories that moves hearts. From the newsroom to the stage and from folk art to film. He has spent 25 years with the Times of India, capturing stories of people, faith, and change. A gold medalist in journalism, a TEDx speaker, and a lifelong learner, whether performing Burrakatha or exploring the ethics of AI, his journey is proof that creativity has no boundaries. This is the story of a man who never stopped evolving. This is the story of Chilkuri Sushil Rao. Help me welcome Mr. Chilkuri Sushil Rao. So welcome uncle to our show and I'm so glad that you are here. ఇంత మంచి టైం తీసుకొని వచ్చారు.
Really, I was looking forward to this, Navina, from the time we got in touch with each other about this.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, but I'm very tensed because you come with such a huge experience, 37 years of experience in media.
I'll tell you what, at the end of it, I know for sure that there will be a lot of takeaways for me from you.
I hope so.
No, it will certainly be that.
Yeah. So now that our audience know that you have been in this field for the last 37 years, but you've taken multiple roles. You know, you're into filmmaking, you're also an editor, you have covered such amazing, sometimes even, you know, like scary stories. So if I'll have to ask you to describe yourself, how would you do it?
At the heart of it all, basically, I am what I always wanted to be, a reporter. A reporter who's always wanted to be that and who's lived his life as a reporter. Even if I wore those different hats that you mentioned, at the core of it all, it begins with writing.
Okay.
So my heart is in writing. Meetha kuda they go up step by step. I really don't want to use the word up because they just become something else in different sets of media. Edemaina gani first it will have to be put down on paper.
Okay.
Kada, so writing is
Yeah.
absolutely important.
So you're a writer. Is that what you want to call?
I claim to be one because I have written for the last 38 years.
Yes. So where did this all start? How did, you know, like the origin of the love towards journalism or media? Yeah.
Ee podcast start kaakamundu, I asked you one question. How did you take interest in this,
Yes.
Anesi? And I was very happy to know that this idea of podcast you conceived 10 years ago when it was unthinkable in the market. So somewhere it began in your mind, and I'm really amazed when you said 10 years ante. Congratulations,
But that was just a
Navina.
thought.
It was a thought, but at that
Yeah.
time no one conceived this
Yeah.
format of podcasts. So నన్ను అడిగితే, let me say when I was in class 6th that I took interest in writing, and that's when it all began. It just got into my mind saying that I want to be a writer and a journalist, and all the way I've been a journalist. So that dream came true thanks to God, because he made it possible. అందరూ అనుకున్నది కాలేరు కదా నవీన.
Yeah.
Kada, it is not possible. Many people dream of many things, but in my case, God has been very gracious and He made my dream come true. Something that I conceived when I was in class 6th, I said. Chappalante, at that time, I was only reading newspapers, but I'd never met a journalist, or neither did I enter any newspaper office to say I was inspired by this particular person or inspired by this kind of environment. It was there within me. So I made a tall claim to somebody who asked me this. If there was no journalism, perhaps I would have started it an issue. Tall claim for my
Yeah.
5 feet 2 inches height,
Yeah.
but I did say that.
Yeah. But do you think it also has anything to do with your, ancestors? Some of them were also into freedom struggle, right?
My father, Chilkuri Samuel, I'll tell you a little bit about him,
Sure.
so that you raised a very important point, ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళి వచ్చిందన్నది కూడా sometimes subconsciously it may happen. My father, he served in the British Indian Army.
Wow.
All right. I'm told he also fought in the World War on
Wow.
behalf of the
Yeah,
British troops. That's what my elder brother told me. After that, he got into the Nizam's State Railways. Apru Nizam
Yeah,
State
yeah.
Railways. Then it got split. Then APSRTC was formed. So he got into the RTC and he retired from there. Maybe that's what I noticed. I saw that మన క్రిస్టియన్ మ్యాగజైన్స్ కొన్ని వస్తుండే అప్పుడు. So he used to write for all those magazines. Maybe I looked at him, it got into my mind that I also should write. కానీ నేనైతే I'm not attributing my interest to that at all. I'm just taking a wild guess.
Okay.
సరేనా?
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to ask because sometimes subconsciously, or, even if it is not subconscious, but maybe because they are around us, those talks or those
ఇంకొకటి కూడా
conversations.
గుర్తొస్తుంది నవీన నాకు. ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ సంథింగ్ దట్ యూస్ టు హ్యాపన్ ఇన్ ది 70s. ఓకే, అప్పుడు మనకు కొన్ని బైబిల్ లెసన్స్ వస్తుండే బై పోస్ట్. నువ్వు అది చదివేసి దెన్ వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ ఇస్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ అన్ ఆన్సర్ అండ్ దెన్ గో అండ్ పోస్ట్ ఇట్ బ్యాక్ అండ్ దెన్ యూ గెట్ ద నెక్స్ట్ లెసన్ అగైన్.
Okay.
So I used to be so fast in reading and writing. The very same day, in about less than half an hour, I used to finish it off so that I could get the second lesson also. So my writing began there itself.
Wow.
I would say that. I
Yeah.
definitely would like to say that.
Yeah. So in so many years, 37, almost 38.
Mm.
So I want to know the career graph. Like, meer ekkada start ayaro, what was your role, and now,
Starting లోనైతే చిన్న ట్రాజడీ అయింది. For me it was a tragedy,
Okay.
and I will still remember it as a tragedy only because it was that for me. నేను చెప్పిన కదా, so that is where I started. Let me
Yeah.
go a little bit back also so that it can be understood in context once again, because I said my love of writing
Started
It-
very young. Yeah.
started very young. I used to do those Bible lessons, and later in life also, there was one major from the Indian Army. He used to live at Padmarao Nagar, Secunderabad. He used to bring out a magazine called the Church Herald. It used to come out every month. He
Okay.
retired from the Indian Army and he used to bring this out. It used to be an A4 size, something like 4 pages or 8 pages. I didn't know that man, but it used to come home. Then I also used to write articles and send it to him. I started what I called a children's column. So I used to write it in a story form, Bible
Okay.
lessons say. He used to publish it. Okay, then ఏమైంది, I went and met him at his house. I had a గ్రౌజ్ ఏంటిదంటే, ఆయన నా పేరు సుశీల్ రావు. ఫర్ సెవరల్ వీక్స్ మంత్స్ ఇట్ వాస్ బీయింగ్ పబ్లిష్. ఒక్కసారి ఒక తప్పు చేసిండు. హీ రోట్ సుశీలా రావు. Then I wanted to tell him, see, I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a male. I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Okay. At least with that mistake, both of us got to meet each other,
yeah.
and we met several times also. So the writing happened there. And I told you about a tragedy that happened. All life I was dreaming of getting into journalism, but I wanted to have a proper qualification also, a journalism degree. అదెంత స్ట్రాటజిక్గా ప్లాన్ చేసుకున్నా అంటే నథింగ్ హ్యాపెన్ బై యాక్సిడెంట్. ఐ ప్లాన్డ్ ఇట్. I did my schooling from St. Patrick's, Secunderabad. Then I did my high school from Wesley Boys High School, Paradise. Then Wesleyలోనే ఇంటర్మీడియట్ చేసినాను. వెస్లీలో I took MPC.
Okay.
Though I don't like mathematics at all, నాకెందుకు అనిపించింది నీ గురించి నేను ఎందుకు భయపడాలి, మ్యాథ్స్ అంటే భయపడతారు, నాకు కూడా భయమే, నాకు అది ఇష్టం లేకపోతుండే, బట్ స్టిల్ ఐ థాట్ ఐ విల్ స్టడీ అండ్ ఐ డిడ్ స్టడీ. ఐ వుడెంట్ హ్యావ్ గాట్ very good marks, but I did study and got through. Then in degree, I did BCom from Badruka. That was also strategic. I could have easily taken BA English.
Yeah.
Because writing is what I wanted
yeah.
to, but I deliberately didn't do it. I didn't want to do it. I thought, let me study commerce also. ఇది ఎలాగో చేస్తాను తప్పకుండా, దీన్ని పోనీయను. Tragedy ఎక్కడనంటే, once I finished my degree, I appeared for the entrance examination in Usmania University Arts College. నాకు సీట్ రాలేదు నవీన. ఆ రోజు చాలా బాధ అయింది నాకు. బాధ ఎందుకు అయిందంటే, నాట్ బికాజ్ ఐ డెంట్ గెట్ అ సీట్, అది ఈ రోజు రాకపోతే రేపు వస్తుందిలే అనుకునే ధైర్యం ఉండే, కానీ ఐ లాస్ట్ మై సీట్ బై 1/4 of a mark. అక్కడ కొంచెం బాధ ఎక్కువైంది. ఆ బాధలో కోపం వచ్చింది. ఆ కోపంలో ఒక న్యూస్ పేపర్ ఆఫీస్కి వెళ్ళిపోయినాను. వెళ్ళిపోయి చెప్పిన, సి, ఐ వాంట్ టు బి ఎ జర్నలిస్ట్, దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఐ డిజైర్ టు బి. అండ్ వాళ్ళు నాకు ఒక చిన్న టెస్ట్ పెట్టిండ్రు. ఇట్ వాస్ కాల్డ్ సిటిజన్స్ ఈవినింగ్. దిస్ హ్యాపెండ్ ఇన్ 1988. టెస్ట్ పెట్టిండ్రు. Then they took me as a journalist. So without even that qualification, I began as a journalist. But still, naakaithe I want to be a professional journalist. But the very next year, I appeared for the entrance test once again. Thousands of people write it. There are only 40 seats. Manchiga rashna, second rank ochindi.
Wow. Okay. So that's how your career started.
Yes, that's how my education. I did my BCJ, then wrote my exam. అందులో బీసీజీలో గోల్డ్ మెడల్ కూడా వచ్చింది. నవీన, క్లాప్స్ కొట్టాలంటే కొట్టు, నేను ఎవరు రాస్తున్నారు. దానికి అవసరం కదా. నేను ఇంతవరకు ఎక్కడన్నా అడిగినా, అడగలేక దీనికి అడుగుతున్నా కదా.
కొన్ని క్లాప్స్ కూడా యాడ్ చేస్తాను.
Then I did my MCG also. I got a seat. అందులో కూడా సెకండ్ ర్యాంక్, ఫైనల్ ఎగ్జామ్ సెకండ్ ర్యాంక్ వచ్చింది. Then I got into MA English for a year. But since they were starting MPhil, I got a seat in MPhil also. అది కూడా ఫస్ట్ ర్యాంక్ అనుకుంటా. I got into MPhil. Part 1 complete చేసిన.
1/4 you lost, but you started getting so many. Yeah.
And my obsession, my obsession to do my studies. So 89, 88 అది చేసిన. Then I quit that job because 89 I got a seat. Within a few months, I got into Deccan Chronicle again.
Yeah.
So.
But now you're in Times of India.
For the last 25 years, I've been in the Times of India. Okay, 1 year citizens lo chesnanu. Then for the next 6 years, I was in Deccan Chronicle.
Okay.
Then inkoka paper ku poina. It was called The Guardian. I was there for about a year. Because I was so involved with that, I couldn't finish my MPhil part 2. Then I got into another paper called AP Times. Then went back to Deccan Chronicle for about a year and a half. Then from the year 2000, May 15th, I've been with the Times of India. I was the very first employee to have joined when they decided to launch their Hyderabad edition. So I'm there for the last more than 25 years.
Yeah. Retracing to one of the statements that you made, like you were, so many people apply, but only 80 seats are there.
40 seats, eh?
Okay, 40 seats.
Thousands of people write.
Yeah, but right now there are so many colleges.
Correct.
But generally there is this debate of, man India lo doctors or, engineers. There is this statement also, sometimes parents make, mass com chadutava, idi chadutava, nalig giskodanik kuda panikiradu. Those kind of statements, they do it. So what do you have to say to that? Because end of the day, media is also considered as the fourth pillar, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
I think Naku, I must thank my family at this juncture, because my intlo seven of us, 4 elder sisters, 3 brothers.
Okay.
I'm the youngest one. ఇప్పుడు మా పెద్దక్క పెళ్ళి ఎప్పుడైందంటే 1969లో అయింది.
Okay.
నేను పుట్టింది 1968లా.
Okay.
So
Wow, such a huge gap.
that's the age gap.
Yeah.
So I had all my sisters and my brothers to take care of me. So my father took a lot of interest in everybody's studies. That
Okay.
was top priority for him. నేను వచ్చేసరికి when I said I want to do journalism, I remember it was only just once అనుకుంటాను. Only once he just made a mention. ఈ engineeringలు అవన్నీ ఏమి ఉంటాయి కదా, నీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేదంటే I said I'm not interested. Except for that mention, nobody really said you have to be this or that. On the contrary, I got into my profession, journalism, thanks to my youngest sister. Her name is Shamala. She knew somebody. From there, another person was contacted, and I could get into Citizens Evening because I showed that interest. They took an examination for me. It was
Okay. So what do you have to say to parents like that? Also, because a lot of people who do it, not all of them get placed in good jobs like how you got placed. You know, the success ratio is very low, right?
నవీన, ఈ జాబ్స్ అన్నది ఇప్పుడు నాకు కూడా గ్యారంటీ లేకుండే కదా. ఐ నెవర్ థాట్ ఆఫ్ నేను ఐ షుడ్ వర్క్ హియర్, ఐ షుడ్ వర్క్ దేర్ అన్నట్టు. మై డిజైర్ వాస్ టు బీ అ జర్నలిస్ట్. అట్లా ప్రొఫెషనల్గా అయినా తప్పకుండా చూసుకుంటే యూ ప్రాబ్లీ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ chosen a different profession which would have paid more.
Yeah.
There would have been more openings, but this is something that you're doing on your own passion. So I followed my passion irrespective of how many jobs there were available in the market. They will all show up once you progress. And I'm saying this once again, it is God's grace that I have lived my life the way I wanted to.
Yeah. So you started your journey in 1980s, which means
88.
88. Yeah. Do you find any difference with the nature of journalism during that time and in this age, like the authenticity or the credibility of the news? Imagine Chala mandi online lone, there are some very big people who are creating news content online, and like where do you think the relevance of TV media is still there?
అయితే నవీన, I will understand I know what you're asking.
Yeah.
I definitely know it.
ప్లీజ్ నన్ను క్వశ్చన్ అడగండి.
అడగకండి మరి ఎందుకు కూర్చున్నావు ఇక్కడ?
నేను క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగడానికి.
ఎందుకు నేను అడగొద్దా?
నాకు ఆన్సర్స్ లేవు.
నాకు అలాంటి కండిషన్ నువ్వు పెట్టలేదు. ఇక్కడ కూర్చోకన్నా ముందు
చెప్పండి, నాకు ఆన్సర్ తెలిస్తే ఎలా?
తెలిస్తే చెప్పు. కానీ నా ప్రశ్న కొంచెం క్లారిఫికేషన్.
Okay.
See, when you made that statement in the form of a question,
Yeah.
you probably had somebody in mind, some
Yes.
individual in mind, or some television channel in mind, or some newspaper in mind. కానీ అవి చెప్తే బాగుండదు, బికాస్ దట్ కెన్ లీడ్ టు, సో అందుకే భయపడుతున్నావు నువ్వు. అంత భయపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. దట్ కెన్ లీడ్ టు డిఫమేషన్. బట్ కొంచెము హ్యావింగ్ దట్ పర్సన్ ఆర్ దట్ మీడియా హౌస్, call it a television channel or an online outlet, anything that you have in mind, could they explain just so that I can understand the background and backdrop of your question?
Yeah. For example, there are few media TV channels that are owned by the politicians itself, that are literally owned by the politicians.
అవును.
సో ఆ ఛానల్లోకి వెళ్తే ఎక్కువ ఆ పొలిటీషియన్ లేకపోతే ఆ పొలిటికల్ పార్టీ వాటిని ప్రేజ్ చేస్తూనే చాలా ఉంటుంది. సో మేబీ దట్ ఈస్ క్రెడిబుల్, బట్ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే దేర్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ దిస్ డౌట్ దట్స్ లింగరింగ్ ఇన్ మై మైండ్. మేబీ యూర్ బీయింగ్ పార్షియల్ ఆల్సో బికాస్ యూర్ ది ఓనర్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఛానల్. అండ్ దెన్ ద సెకండ్ థింగ్ ఇస్ దట్ ఆన్లైన్ there are few content creators like Fire. So they also post content regarding the politics and current affairs. Chala. And I see that they have huge number of followers and subscribers, not just in numbers, but they engage also in terms of comments. But that, ippudu chustunte, I mean, when I am looking at it, so I'm literally confused. What is credible? What is not? That's the reason I didn't directly ask that question. I asked, what is the difference that you find in the nature?
Perfect question.
What is the difference that you find in the 1990s or 1988 journalism until now?
కాదు, నువ్వు ఒక you are starting from 1990s.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, why did you say 1990?
Yeah, I was born like in the early 90s. And
అదే నేను అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకోను. అంటే ఈ లోకం పుట్టింది నువ్వు పుట్టడం తోటి అనుకుంటున్నావా?
నాకన్నా ముందు నుంచి.
When you're talking about newspapers,
Yeah.
you have taken 90s as the cutoff.
Yeah.
Because that is when you got introduced to
Yes.
newspapers. I'm coming to that.
Okay.
But I want you to go back into the 20th century.
Okay.
Printing press వచ్చింది, న్యూస్ పేపర్స్ పబ్లిష్ అవుతున్నాయి. ఫోకస్, ఐ వాంట్ యూ టు ఫోకస్ on India's independence struggle.
Yeah.
Mahatma Gandhi started something like 3 or 4 newspapers, not just here, but in South Africa also. Then there were other freedom fighters who also started their own newspapers. In Telugu also, there were several newspapers. Their one-point program and agenda was to win freedom for the country. All of these people that I mentioned, I may not have mentioned the names of several others also, most of them were pumping in their own money, sacrificing their own personal needs. So they were proprietors, owners, and editors. And their one-point program was to win freedom for India. Would you call that a bias?
No. Or maybe because the papers were the ones who started are the ones who fought for freedom struggle.
Oh, so they started it for a purpose.
I'll not say that they're not biased, but if you look from the other perspective, maybe you should also give a holistic understanding of the entire news. They were right wing and left wing even during that time, right?
ఎవరు ఏ థాట్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేసినానో, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్ దే వెంట్ టు, ది అజెండా వాస్ టు విన్ ఫ్రీడమ్ ఫర్ ద కంట్రీ. And I'm telling you, most of them did not even have enough money in their pockets. So much so, Mahatma Gandhi had argument with his own family members about the money that he was pumping in. When he was in South Africa, he needed money to run a newspaper. And he was a lawyer, an advocate. So he found out some ways and means of funding the newspaper. He would say, if you come to me for help, filing a court case, that amount, you come to me, I'll use part of it for my personal family use. The rest of it, I will pump it into the newspaper.
Okay.
So these are the sacrifices people made. The agenda was to win freedom for the country. Bias anna mata use chesinavu kabatti, let us not look at the word bias in a negative way.
Polarizing.
ఇవన్నీ నెగిటివ్ వర్డ్సే, ఎందుకు అవన్నీ?
Polarizing can be done in a good way also, no?
కానీ యూసేజ్ మటుకు పోలరైజింగ్ అంటే నెగిటివ్ కి వస్తుంది. సో బయాస్ అన్న ఇదేంటిదంటే దే వర్ ఇన్ ఫేవర్ ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ దేర్ వర్క్ టు విన్ ఫ్రీడమ్. సో దే హ్యాడ్ ఎన్ అజెండా. నేను కొంచెం హిస్టరీలోకి తీసుకుపోతున్నాను.
ఇది తెలుసు అంకల్, నాకు ఇది కొంచెం ఐడియా.
నేను చెప్పినాక తెలుసు అన్నాడు.
లేదు, ముందే తెలుసు. సోషల్ స్టడీస్ అన్నిటిలో నేర్చుకున్నాం కదా.
దాని తర్వాత కొంచెం మిక్స్ అయిపోయింది ఓనర్షిప్. People saw that it's a very good business venture. All right. Freedom struggle అయిపోయినాక, so partly people started investing in newspapers so they could reap benefits. ఇప్పుడు మనం థర్డ్ ఫేజ్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నామంటే, పొలిటీషియన్స్ ఆర్ ఓనింగ్ న్యూస్ పేపర్స్ అండ్ దే ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ దేర్ ఓన్ అజెండా అని కూడా, దేర్ మోటివ్స్, దేర్ రీజన్స్. సో అక్కడ కూడా మనం అండ్ ద వెరీ ఫ్యాక్ట్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ పాయింటెడ్ అవుట్, అండ్ యూ నో సమ్ న్యూస్ పేపర్స్ ఆర్ సమ్ న్యూస్ ఛానల్స్, any outlet saying that, okay, these people talk only about this politician, until somebody like you or anyone is aware that they have an agenda. So you know that you're not getting the whole truth there, but at least you're getting one part of the truth there. So for another part of the truth, you go to another channel.
So that's how we should tune our mind basically.
ఇప్పుడు అట్లనే ఉన్నది కదా.
Okay. So that is the difference, is what you're saying. You're not giving me a black and white answer. You're giving me gray shades.
నేను బ్లాక్ అండ్ ఒక దిక్కు బ్లాక్ ఉంటుంది, ఒక దిక్కు వైట్ ఉంటుంది, రెండు చూడమంటున్నా నేను.
So you're okay with the way the
I think we have evolved like that. I gave you 3 stages of how journalism developed. One, complete ownership with a bias, a motive, a reason. Then second is the business phase. Third is the political phase.
Okay, sure.
All three of them have their own motive, reason and agenda.
Yeah. Now coming to the second part of the question, the relevance of TV media or print media compared to the era of social media propagandas or social media news. So do you find that these things still hold relevance in this time and age?
These things ante?
Like the print media and the TV media.
సరే ఇది చెప్పకముందు ఇంకొక సంగతి చెప్తా నీకు నవీన.
క్వశ్చన్ అడగండి అంకుల్.
క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతాను.
మీరు నన్ను రోస్ట్ చేస్తున్నట్లుంది. ఇంటర్వ్యూ మొత్తం నేను మార్చేస్తా, పాడ్కాస్ట్ హోస్ట్ నేను మీకు పెడతా. గెస్ట్
సంగతి చెప్తా అంటున్నాను. హౌ పీపుల్ గెట్ న్యూస్.
ఓకే
ఓకే, మనం ఇప్పుడు ఖాళీ టీవీ, న్యూస్ పేపర్ అండ్ ఆన్లైన్ అట్లా అనుకుంటున్నాం కదా. హౌ పీపుల్ యూస్ టు గెట్ న్యూస్ ఫ్రమ్ అదర్ సోర్సెస్ ఇర్రెస్పెక్టివ్ ఆఫ్ రేడియో కూడా. నేను I was just 2 years old. We were living in Wesley Church, Mushirabad church compound. I do not know if you know that place, Wesley Church, Mushirabad. There used to be something like 15-20 families in the church compound itself. I was 2 years old. It must have happened in 1970. I was the last child in the family. I told you, 4 sisters and 3 brothers. Appudu the information that spread, rumor anala, was that అది ట్యాంక్ బండ్ చెరువు కట్ట తెగిపోయింది. ఆల్ రైట్, అండ్ దట్ మీన్స్ ట్యాంక్ బండ్ చెరువు కట్ట మీన్స్ అంటే బండ్ ఇస్ కట్ట. ఓకే, సో ట్యాంక్ బండ్ బ్రీచ్ అయింది. ఆ బ్రీచ్ అయి వాటర్ అంతా కూడా ఇట్ ఇస్ ఫ్లోయింగ్ డౌన్. సో ఇట్ వాజ్ రీచింగ్ మై ప్లేస్. ఇమాజిన్ ద వాటర్స్ ఆఫ్ హుస్సేన్ సాగర్ లేక్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ అ బ్రీచ్. So that was the information. People started running helter skelter to save themselves because you know the water is coming from that side. Tank band it undante ma Mushirabad it side undi. It daati atu povala. So everybody was running away to the other side.
Okay.
To save themselves. Yeah. So my mother, I'm told, carried me and she also started running. So we were there trying to save whatever we could until All India Radio published a news item or an announcement saying that there is no such thing. It is only a rumor.
Oh, okay.
Right. Mari ee rumor etla start ayindi? Without any media, no telephone. All right. Telephones gaadu, TV gaadu, radio gaadu, social media gaadu.
Yeah.
So information just spread like that. It was a rumor. The question that you asked was ఇస్ ప్రింట్ రిలవెంట్ అనేసి. అయితే ఒక్కొక్కరికి ఒక్కొక్కటి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటుంది కదా. నాకైతే ప్రింట్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్. ఐఎమ్ టెలింగ్ యూ, ప్రైమ్ దో ఐ హ్యావ్ మేడ్ డాక్యుమెంటరీస్, దో ఐ డూ వీడియో పాడ్కాస్ట్ అండ్ different kinds of media I engage in, writing is what I like most. So I have a bias towards print media.
Okay.
It is definitely a bias, and
you feel it's relevant.
It is.
Yes.
Not feel.
Okay. సో మేబీ మా తర్వాత వచ్చే జనరేషన్స్కి ఉండదేమో.
నేను ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కూడా ఇస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు వెన్ యూ వాచింగ్ టెలివిజన్, ఐ హ్యావ్ నథింగ్ అగేన్స్ట్ టెలివిజన్ ఛానల్స్. ఐ వాజ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎర్లియస్ట్ టెలివిజన్ రిపోర్టర్స్ ఇన్ తెలుగు ఆల్సో. You go to television channels, the teams sit like this, they watch all news channels. వాళ్ళ దగ్గర సిస్టమ్ ఎట్లా ఉంటుందంటే, some television channel is flashing some news. Now another a person of audience, they would like to know if there is some truth, because you're not going beyond that one strip. So they go to other channels, they also have it. నువ్వు చూడు కొంతసేపు అయినా అవన్నీ మాయమైపోతాయి, because they come to know that there is not so much of truth in that. All right. Okay. So there is no news item also about it. So television can afford to do that in the face of competition. They should not be doing that if it is not confirmed. So television has, you can't hold them responsible. Avunu maaku tarvata telishindi, we removed it.
Yeah.
Digital, you can remove it, on your post online. Okay. Only print will stay forever. So if I'm writing something, I should have, it is my business to confirm, clarify and put it in black and white, so that the audience or readers will question me tomorrow saying that you have written it, now be answerable.
Wow.
You can't hold the other media to ransom. Only print is answerable.
Yes. Very nice. Superb question. This will go into a reel only, this particular part.
Superb question ante
superb answer.
Nee question nuvu.
Superb answer. I was about to say superb answer. Yeah.
Abba sare question.
Superb answer.
Aa question atla
you're making me nervous.
Aa question manchiga vachinanduke answer manchiga vachindi.
Yeah.
So that is the truth. Yes. It's ultimate. Yeah.
సో ఇదివరకు నేషనల్ ఆర్కైవ్స్ అవి ఉండేవి కదా. సో రైట్ నౌ ఆల్ దిస్ ప్రింట్ మీడియా, ఇఫ్ సంబడి హ్యాస్ టు గో లైక్ దే వాంట్ టు ఫైండ్ ఆల్ ది olden years newspapers or whatever, where can they find the same national archives or this government archives?
మనకు సిటీలో we have that city central library at Afzalganj.
Okay.
That used to be one stop where people could go and read newspapers.
Okay.
ఇంకొకటి అఫ్జల్గంజ్లో స్టేట్ సెంట్రల్ లైబ్రరీ అని ఉన్నది.
Okay.
Lovely place, you could read all newspapers. It's a huge building, but those times have gone. Ippudu I don't know if they're stocking any newspapers like that. I don't know, but I think they are, because at least in Ashok Nagar I know people who are preparing for civil services go and read newspapers there. Insofar as your question is concerned about how you can access, the change that is coming over now for print is they're making them accessible online,
Yeah.
but they're making them paid.
Yeah, subscriptions
Okay,
and all. Yeah.
not every newspaper is free to read
Yes.
online also.
Yeah.
So that, I would say that's a positive change.
Yes.
Because if
Because when you're selling a newspaper, print
Yes.
newspaper, you can as well do this.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
the website will definitely be free for anyone to come and
Yes.
read and have
Yeah.
an inkling as to what's going on in the world. But their newspaper, that reliable newspaper, accountable newspaper, it's very much available for subscription.
Okay.
Most newspapers are doing it.
Okay, super. So how did your love into filmmaking start? How did that start, filmmaking? How did filmmaking
అసలు లవ్ లేదు నువ్వు అంటున్నావు కానీ
But you won awards also, right, uncle?
అది లవ్ లేకున్నా చేయొచ్చు.
But only when you love something, you'll be able to give
That's
your
your
best.
assumption. That's your assumption.
So even if you don't love, you went ahead and done the movie.
Yes, yes.
Also, tell us the journey behind it.
So why did you assume that I'll have it then?
Because generally everywhere we see, like, I always love doing, and that's the reason I won awards. If you love doing what you do and all
అట్లా
those
చెప్పనీకి
things.
చెప్తారులే కానీ there are some things that you do without even actually loving it. You might slightly take interest in that and want to explore, but my first love is writing. So నేను ఈ లవ్ అన్న దాన్ని, let me not be unfaithful to my writing by saying that I love television also, I love cinema also. I will not use those words for the other media.
Okay.
I am faithful to my writing.
Okay.
You could say I'm having an affair with all these other media.
Okay. Yeah.
In BCJ, when we were doing BCJ, making a small film or television thing was a must. That was a subject.
Okay.
I'm talking about 1988. No, 1989. I had no interest whatsoever in that kind of a media, electronic media. And it was not easy also. You just had one camera and one studio. It was completely inaccessible. So one had to really, the classroom, the staff, they had to plan it in advance.
Okay.
I was not interested in it, but it was part of a subject. I had to study it. But I had to be part of it also. You can't say I cannot do this. So some people showed interest in handling the camera. They liked it. Some people showed interest in direction. Some people did that script writing and all that. I was not fitting into any of it because I was not interested. So what I did was, if you've been to the arts college anytime at Usmania University, journalism department kindiku untadi.
Okay.
It's like a dungeon. So there was some furniture lying there. నేను ఆ ఫర్నిచర్ను తీసుకొచ్చేసి I asked them to have a shot and I would break the broken furniture because they need actors also.
Okay. Yeah.
So anta indifference naku. But at the same time, what took me into television reporting also was two people who were doing a program for appudu manaku idi lekunde Navina, all these television channels.
Yeah.
Only Gemini TV had one program. That was the first Telugu channel here.
Okay.
So these two people that I know, my seniors from the journalism department and very well established people, they came up with a program and then they were doing that. నా దగ్గరకు వచ్చింది, నువ్వు దీనికి ఒక యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ అ బిజినెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ నాకు బిజినెస్ రాదు. సెకండ్లీ దిస్ వాజ్ ఇన్ తెలుగు నాకు వచ్చు, కానీ ఆ భాష వేరు కదా, ప్రెజెంటేషన్ స్టైల్ ఆఫ్ భాష. నేను చెప్పిన ఇట్లా రాదు నాకు అంటే, నీకెందుకు, నువ్వు వరి కాక మిగతా అంతా మేము చూసుకుంటాం, యూ టేక్ 10 shots, 20 తీసుకో. అప్పుడు దట్ ఆల్సో వాజ్ డిఫికల్ట్ బికాస్ యూ హ్యాడ్ అ క్రూ అండ్ టైమ్. But they encouraged me. So I was one of the very first television presenters in television, but I didn't continue in television.
Okay.
Then I was also perhaps one of the first to write for online also. ఆన్లైన్ అంటే ఇంకా గమ్మత్ నవీన 1989లో బీసీజీలో ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్ ఉన్నది మాస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ అనేసి. ఆ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్లో థియరీస్ ఆఫ్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఉన్నది. సో దే యూజ్ ద వర్డ్ జీమెయిల్ దేర్, సారీ ఈమెయిల్. ఈమెయిల్ అంటే ఏంటిదో తెలియదు, బికాస్ అట్ దట్ టైమ్ దే వాజ్ నో ఈమెయిల్ ఇన్ ద కంట్రీ.
ఓకే.
ఇట్ వాస్ డిఫికల్ట్ టు ఇమాజిన్ ఫర్ మీ ఆల్సో. దాని తర్వాత ఐ రోట్ ఫర్ ఆన్లైన్, వన్ ఆఫ్ ద వెరీ ఫస్ట్. కొంచెం బోస్ట్ చేస్తున్నట్టు అనిపిస్తుంది.
లేదు లేదు లేదు
లేదు కదా,
లేదు.
బట్ ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఇది.
yes yes of course
ఫస్ట్ రైట్ ఫర్ ఆన్లైన్ ఆల్సో. సో ఇవన్నీ ఐ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటెడ్ అండ్ గాట్ ఇన్వాల్వ్డ్ విత్ వేరియస్, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ మేకింగ్ డాక్యుమెంటరీస్ which I ఏమంటే screened at several international film
Yes,
festivals,
yeah.
and I also got awards. Happy about that.
yeah. So what like inspires you to make such films?
నేను ఎంత ప్రింట్ను ప్రేజ్ చేసినా కానీ సమ్ థింగ్స్ విల్ హ్యావ్ టు బీ షోన్. సో అందుకొరకని నేను చేయడము మొదలుపెట్టినాను. దెర్ వన్ గర్ల్ బై నేమ్ స్వప్నిక. ఒక 2 చేతులు లేవు ఆమెకు. ఆల్ రైట్, బట్ షీ డాన్సెస్ వెల్. షీఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్. షీ డాన్సెస్ వెల్. షీ డస్ ఎ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్. ఐ ఫెల్ట్ హర్ స్టోరీ హ్యాస్ టు బీ షోన్ ఆన్ ద స్క్రీన్. ఓకే, నేను షీ డజంట్ హ్యావ్ 2 హ్యాండ్స్ అంటే ఓకే, దానికన్నా ఎక్కువ ఏం ఇమాజిన్ చేయలేం మనం. సో ఐ హ్యాడ్ టు షో హర్
Okay.
ఫర్ పీపుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్. సో దెర్ వాజ్ అ పర్పస్ ఫర్ మీ టు యూజ్ దట్ మీడియం టు కన్వే అ స్టోరీ. సో ఇట్ వాజ్ మోర్ ఆఫ్ పర్పస్.
Okay. So that's how the entire should watch that thing then.
చాలానే చేసినాను నవీన నేను. ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ డన్ అట్ లీస్ట్.
So the awards also, uncle. So did you like, how do you enter or how did they award you? Like, is there any process of applying for
అవును,
this?
all hundreds of film festivals take place across the globe. But నేను one particular documentary I want to mention here. See, I did this documentary about one person by name Dusharla Satyanarayana. Okay. Nalgonda Suryapet దగ్గర ఉంటాడు. He has something like 60-70 acres of land, and he developed it as a forest for the last 50-60 years. చాలా బ్యూటిఫుల్ ప్లేస్. A person who maintains that because he loves nature, creating this forest, which he did. I did a story on that. అది I sent it to the Ministry of Culture, Government of India.
Yeah.
సో వాళ్ళకు అది నచ్చింది బికాస్ దే హెల్డ్ అ ఫిలిం ఫెస్టివల్. దే వాంటెడ్ మీ టు కమ్ అండ్ స్పీక్ దేర్ ఆల్సో అట్ ద స్క్రీనింగ్. బట్ ఐ టోల్డ్ దిస్ మ్యాన్, నాకంటే ద మ్యాన్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్ విల్ బీ గుడ్ అనేసి చెప్పిన నేను. దే అగ్రీ టు హోస్ట్ హిమ్. సో హీ వెంట్ అండ్ స్పోక్ దేర్ అబౌట్ హౌ హీ
Started it.
yes, and how he supports an environmental cause.
And recently you've also done an AI certification in IIT Madras, is it?
ఉత్తగా గెస్ట్ చేసినట్టు అడుగుతున్నావు నువ్వు. ఏఐ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఏంటిదని అడుగు.
AI certification is నాకు తెలుసు అయితే అంకుల్ అన్ని AI ML ఇవన్నీ న్యూ థింగ్స్. సో హౌ డిడ్ యువర్ లవ్ స్టార్ట్ దేర్?
yes
Not love. How
Yes.
did that come into the picture of your life?
This fascination, it would have happened sometime last year itself. It's a fascination because truly the world is going the AI way. Truly, whether we like it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not, whether we are aware of it or not, everything is AI. Everything is AI. Our daily life. Then I took extra interest తీసుకొని, AI anybody can learn. Okay, anybody can understand. But I always believed in formal study. So Economic Times వాళ్ళు they conducted this two-day అన్నారు కానీ it went on for 5 days. So they taught us everything. అదంతా చదువుకున్నాక ప్రాపర్గా then I became what they said I was, an AI generalist.
Okay.
Is what they call. Apart from that, I did several other courses also. University of Colorado Boulder, that was another 5-day course. ఇంకా చాలా చేసిన.
యా. సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఈ రీసెంట్ది ఏదైతే ఉందో, సో హౌ ఇస్ దట్ లైక్, ఇస్ ఇట్ Are you putting it to work? Whatever you've
Yes,
done?
I am.
In what ways?
I'll tell this. Yeah, without really understanding that I was doing AI, నేను ఏం చేసినంటే లాస్ట్ ఇయరే ఐ ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్ వన్ డాక్యుమెంటరీ నవీన. ఐ యూస్ క్యాన్వా ఫర్ దట్. నాకు ప్రాబ్లం ఏం ఇక్కడ వచ్చింది. సి ఐ టెల్ యూ ద బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఆఫ్ ది స్టోరీ. దేర్ ఇస్ దిస్ 19-year-old బాయ్ ఫ్రమ్ వైజాగ్ ఇన్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్. హీ లవ్డ్ సేలింగ్.
Okay.
He loved sailing right from his childhood. That was his dream of traveling on a ship, going to different countries. అతనికి అది ఒకటే తెలుసు. He achieved his dream. So he got onto this ship, and he had some kind of fear in him because when the ship was reaching Nigeria, akkada some pirates got into the ship.
Okay.
They started firing.
Oh.
They ran helter-skelter. This boy was caught by the pirates. So the pirates, with their guns, they took something like 11 people hostage. 7 Indians and then 2 or 3 some others from different other countries. So they spent more than 50 days in the forest under, in their clutches.
Okay.
Imagine a young boy being held to hostage by these gunmen in a forest with no contact whatsoever. Naku ee sangati I got to know, and I wrote about it in the newspaper. To cut a long story short, not only write, he also pursued it with the authorities, saying that this boy is still in their clutches. So finally he returned. They released him. He came home safe. So I had a story there which I could not ignore. A young man, ship, forest. These are all words
Yeah.
that really
Yeah.
you can conjure up images with these words. I decided to do a documentary so that it could really be of help to people who are watching it. అంత ధైర్యం ఉండదంటే అతనికి, ఎంత గ్రేట్ 19-year-old బాయ్.
Yeah.
Then I got him from that place, Vizag. He came home. I did an interview with him also.
Okay.
So part of it was his interview. But in a documentary, you can't just have the whole thing as an interview. Kada?
Yeah.
I was wondering what to do. How do I picturize it? నేను ఏం చేసినప్పుడు I went to అదే హుసేన్ సాగర్ పోయినా.
Okay.
So I knew the script. Then I took shots in such a way that it will look like a sea.
Okay.
అక్కడ I hired a boat also. Boats
Yeah,
ఉంటాయి
ఉంటాయి,
కదా,
అవును.
బోట్లో పోయి then I shot it in such a way that it doesn't look like Hyderabad, but it's a sea.
Okay.
Then I saw in Canva that I could generate with some work of art, recreate the whole thing. I didn't know this was AI, but I used it, and this won awards in several film festivals also.
Wow.
So some stories మనము చెప్పొచ్చు, కొన్ని చూపెట్టాలి కూడా.
Yeah.
So that's why I did
Yeah.
that.
What are some of the challenging stories that you have worked upon? Like any challenging story or incident that is still struck in your mind?
Are you talking about print or are you talking about my documentaries?
Any.
No, be specific.
Maybe the reporting and the print part. Yeah. Not filmmaking, reporting and print part. Especially the women trafficking that you wrote about.
Yes, I did a lot. Human trafficking is a very big issue. Manam danni we tend to ignore because it doesn't happen to us. But it does happen to a section of people who are desperate to get into a job. So an agent approaches saying that you can find a job in one of these countries, and akkada poyinanka two things happen. One, they don't get the job that is promised. Secondly, they are pushed into situations where it is scary for the woman. The woman is taken advantage of in more ways than one. One is she's made to work 18 to 20 hours, hardly any time to sleep. And I won't take the specific case, but there have been instances where even in those 4 hours, that is a sign that is given to her to sleep, the man of the house wants to take advantage of her. Navina, ఈ కొన్ని స్టోరీస్లో నేను I could converse with this woman while she was locked in a bathroom, and when she was herself trying to escape from being hounded by that man. So she used to send me messages, voice messages, and I used to write here. So my source was directly the woman. అట్లా చాలా direct sources తోటి రాసిన ultimately all of them came back to India, to Hyderabad. అట్లా చాలా కేసెస్
సో మీది ఇంటిగ్రల్ రోల్ ఉంది ఫర్ దట్ రిడెంప్షన్.
తప్పకుండా తప్పకుండా నవీన. ఇట్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ అ పర్పస్. ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ రైటింగ్ ఇస్ మై లవ్, నేను రాసుకొని ఇంట్లో కూర్చొని పెట్టుకుంటే అయిపోతుంది అది కదా. వాట్ పర్పస్ ఇస్ ఇట్ సర్వింగ్ దెన్? And it's good that I have very good, I work for a very good organization which encourages this type of stories, meaningful stories, and we see the fruit of it. There have been several stories where I wrote, and it came as a surprise that Sushma Swaraj Anundi, she was External Affairs Minister, she used to take notice of them in Delhi and give directions to the officials to rescue those people. Several, numerous instances. ఇప్పటికీ కంటిన్యూ అవుతుంది నవీన. ఐ కంటిన్యూ టు డూ ద సేమ్ థింగ్.
సో డు యూ ఆల్సో వర్క్ టువర్డ్స్ ద ఇండియన్ విమెన్, బికాజ్ మీరు ఇండియన్ డయాస్పోరా మీద కూడా రాశారు కాబట్టి, సో డు యూ ఆల్సో వర్క్ టువర్డ్స్ కేసెస్ లైక్ దీస్, స్పెషల్లీ అంటే ఇండియన్ విమెన్ హూ ఫేస్ కేసెస్ లైక్ దీస్ ఇన్ ది అబ్రాడ్?
ఓన్లీ దిస్.
ఓకే.
మేజర్లీ అనను, మెన్, విమెన్. ఇప్పుడు ఇంకొక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇస్తాను. There was one occasion where one person I got through on Twitter. Okay. This person had put out a small message. ఆమె పేరు విజయలక్ష్మి. విజయలక్ష్మి ఏం చేసిందంటే ఒక ట్విట్టర్ మెసేజ్ పెట్టింది, నేను ఐఎమ్ ఇన్ యెమెన్ అండ్ ఐ కెన్ సీ బాంబ్స్ హియర్ అండ్ దేర్, నా పక్కన పడుతుంది అనేసి. One small message on Twitter by this lady, it caught my attention. Anyone would have ignored. Yeah. And this was something like midnight for me. నేను ఐ గాట్ త్రూ టు దిస్ ఉమెన్ అండ్ సెడ్ వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. దట్స్ బికాజ్ నాకు విజయలక్ష్మి అంటే ఒకటేమో నాకు ఇక్కడ మన ఏరియా తెలుగు స్టేట్స్ ఏమో అన్నట్టు ఒక చిన్న డౌట్ వచ్చింది. ఫైనలీ ఇట్ టర్న్డ్ అవుట్ టు బి దట్ ఇట్ వాజ్ నాట్ అ ఉమెన్, ఇట్ వాజ్ అ మ్యాన్. ఓకే, హీ వాజ్ ట్రాఫిక్డ్ టు యెమెన్. అక్కడ హీ హ్యాడ్ టు టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ క్యాటిల్, నో ఫుడ్, నో వాటర్, 1 week ఒకసారి వచ్చి ఇచ్చిపోతుండే, అండ్ దేర్ ఆర్ బాంబ్స్ ఫ్లయింగ్ హియర్ అండ్ దేర్. That man finally came home.
Wow.
I think నేను ఒక పార్ట్ చేస్తే some others take it forward still, and ultimately the person gets help. It doesn't happen with everyone, but in a large number of cases that I've written about, I know it, and I'm very happy that such results have come.
This is more fulfilling than the awards and the ranks and all of that.
అవును కదా నవీన.
And ఇంకోటి మీరు తెలంగాణ మూవ్మెంట్ మీద కూడా you worked on that issue or wrote on that topic, right?
తెలంగాణ మూవ్మెంట్ 2 phases మీద అయింది. ఫస్ట్ ఫేజ్ అప్పుడెప్పుడు, బట్ సెకండ్ ఫేజ్ అంటే 1999-2000. అసలు పొలిటికలీ ఇట్ బికేమ్ స్ట్రాంగర్ డ్యూరింగ్ దట్ టైమ్. ఐ రిమెంబర్ నేను 88లోనే when I was in ఆర్ట్స్ కాలేజ్, అక్కడ ఒక ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఉండే. దట్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్, Madhusudan Reddy, he used to tell us, he was an expert on China affairs, he used to tell us that he and some of his team members would go to the districts, villages, and tell them about the need for a separate state. ఇప్పుడు మనకందరికి తెలిసింది ఏంటంటే ఒక పొలిటికల్ మూవ్మెంట్ వచ్చినప్పటికీ తెలుసు, బట్ బిహైండ్ ద సీన్ several people were working like that. నేను I have covered it because I, being a journalist, I have covered all this.
I want to go back to the filmmaking part. So, do you take any creative liberty while doing it?
Documentary la you cannot take creative liberties, because documentary antene it has to be original. If you permit me, I'll explain to you about one particular documentary that I made, for which I got some international recognition also. This the title of this documentary, it's called Oscar Chala Gariga.
Okay.
ఇప్పుడు నిన్ను అనమంటే కూడా నువ్వు అనలేవు అది.
అంటే ఆస్కర్ చల్ల గరిగా.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. Challa Gariga is the name of the village.
Okay.
From where Kanukuntla Subhash Chandra Bose, the lyricist, hails from in Jayashankar Bhupalpalli district, Telanganalo. He was the one who wrote that Natu Natu song
Okay.
in RRR. And RRR, this song won an Oscar award.
Yes.
Kiravani music director.
Music director.
Yeah. I know that many people do not know.
Okay.
Kiravani and direct వచ్చేస్తుంది.
అవును.
So it's the lyricist and the music director who went and took the award. First time in the history of the Oscars and Indian films that something that we produced, an Indian production, got an Oscar award. Now, adutunnos, there are other films also which
But not
got
Indian production.
Indian production కాదు. This is purely Indian production. Then నాకు ఒక ఐడియా స్ట్రైక్ అయింది. When Chandrabose landed in Hyderabad, Shamshabad airport లో వాళ్ళ ఇంటి దగ్గర, I felt, I mean, I was not there, but the kind of celebration they had, well, it was great. ఒక దిక్కేమో వరల్డ్ స్టేజ్ ఆస్కర్, ఇక్కడనేమో స్ట్రీట్ లైక్ celebration. And Chandrabose's wife, Suchitra, she's a choreographer. Not for this song, but in the film industry. That is when it struck me that this man, Subhash Chandra Bose, was being given a reception in his own village where he grew up, in the school, all the surroundings. One great thing I got to know about was that nobody else was involved in it except the villagers themselves. సాధారణంగా పొలిటీషియన్స్ పిలుస్తారు, లేకపోతే ఫిలిం వాళ్ళని పిలుస్తారు, దే ఇన్వాల్వ్ మెనీ పీపుల్, బట్ దిస్ విలేజ్ డిసైడెడ్ ఓన్లీ దే విల్ డూ ఇట్.
Okay, wow.
Because he is the son of the soil. So his teachers were there. Then I organized a camera person. I didn't go there personally, but I could visualize all that happened. Oka script పంపించిన తనకి, because నాకు ఈవినింగ్ తట్టింది ఐడియా. Then evening, then I looked for a camera person and I got a camera person. ఇద్దరు పోయిండ్రు అక్కడికి. They got me all the shots that I wanted.
Oh wow.
All the shots, like top shots, the village shots,
Aerial shots.
then the group of friends dancing to that song. చాలా పర్ఫెక్ట్గా వచ్చింది ది అవుట్పుట్. ఎడిటింగ్ కూడా నేనే చేసుకున్నాను, బికాజ్ ఐ వాంటెడ్ ఇట్ ద వే సో ఐ ఫెల్ట్ నేను ఎట్లా చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్న స్టోరీ అట్లా చెప్పినాను. చాలా బ్యూటిఫుల్గా వచ్చింది దట్ వన్ అవార్డ్. సో డాక్యుమెంటరీస్, ఐ డోంట్ టేక్ ఎనీ క్రియేటివ్ లిబర్టీస్. You don't have to, and you should not also, because documentaries are meant to tell the story as it is. So all of the things that I have done are all documentaries only, nothing made up.
Okay.
Anta fiction naku.
So మీరు ఏది ఫిక్షన్ రాయలేదా?
రాయలేదు. నేను చెప్పింది ఫిక్షన్ అనిపిస్తుంది
లేదు, కానీ ఇప్పుడు అంటే వేరే ఏమన్నా రాసారేమో అంది. Any fiction that you wrote is what I wanted to ask.
Okay,
that was
I'll
going
tell
to be
you.
my next question.
అడిగేదేదో మంచిగా అడుగు, రాదు మళ్ళీ.
ఇది స్పాంటేనియస్ వస్తుంది కదా.
సరే,
ఇది అసలు ఇక్కడ ఉందా చెప్పండి, నేను ఫ్రేమ్ చేసుకోవడానికి నాకు టైం దొరకట్లేదు.
గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్ యు ఆస్క్డ్. ఎందుకంటే Navina, you should know this. Good, otherwise we wouldn't have come to this.
Yes.
I have written ఒక 5 books రాసినాను. One book is exclusively about the life of Jesus, and I wrote it in a newspaper format.
Wow.
I took all incidents that happened, all 4 gospels manchiga chadukoni, like I was living there when Jesus was living. So I produced the front page of that day with the story of Jesus. ఇప్పుడు అది ఫిక్షన్ అంటావా? ఫిక్షన్ అంటే I transported myself to 2000 years ago, and like I was there and I was seeing and reporting and quoting people wherever necessary. So that book I wrote. You still can't call it fiction because it was based on facts from the Bible.
It's
4
just
gospels.
like your character is a product of creative
That's
liberty.
right. That's right. You put it the right way. I wouldn't have been able to bring in that word here. And I wrote about the life of David also in 2 parts, dramatized it, sticking to the facts from the Bible. Atla konni biblical characters తీసుకుని I would have done something like 4 or 5 books.
You wrote biblical articles, and then at the same time మీరు సెక్యులర్ లో కూడా చాలా టాపిక్స్ కవర్ చేశారు కాబట్టి, what characters would teach people great lessons? Is it the sinners? I mean, Jesus does teach a great level of story, but at the same time there is lot of things, lot of lessons that we can learn from the sinners from the Bible, like the thief on the cross. And then in the secular world also, is there any incident that you have covered where you have learned lessons from the antagonist? For example, I have read a couple of books. Dantlo, the person who, the rapist is what I'm talking about. There is a trauma, there is a generational trauma or some backstory behind him turning into what he is, that is the rapist. And then I read a few narratives where they say it is not completely related to pleasure, it also comes, it is a product of the power play or the power that he never had. Has there been any situation or story where you were moved by the antagonist life?
లేదు లేదు
I mean, jali kalgadam.
లేదు నో 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 బికాజ్ మీరు ఫిలాసఫికల్గా ఆలోచిస్తుండ్రు, నేను ఫ్యాక్చువల్గా ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను. ఐ నో ఆల్ ద న్యూస్ పేపర్ రిపోర్ట్స్ దట్ ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ రిటన్, నాకు ఎంటైర్ స్టోరీ తెలుసు కాబట్టి. మీరు ఫిలాసఫికల్ థాట్స్ అట్లుంటాయి మీ, ఓకే, అది మోర్ ఆఫ్ లిటరరీ బెంట్ ఆఫ్ మైండ్ ఉండి ఫిలాసఫికల్ ఉండి అట్లా ఆలోచిస్తారు. కానీ నిజంగా నువ్వు ఒక కేసు పట్టుకొని కరెక్ట్గా స్టడీ చేస్తే యూ విల్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ సింపతి ఫర్ ద మ్యాన్ హూస్ కమిటెడ్ ద క్రైమ్.
Okay. Despite whatever he has gone through.
What has he gone through?
I mean, వాళ్ళు చిన్నప్పుడు they were sexually abused,
అయితే
things like that.
అయితే అదంతా మీరు కల్పించుకొని చేసే భాష అది.
నేను చేయట్లేదు అంకుల్.
No, the kind of people.
Uncle, I'm only putting the incidents, okay? It's not like I'm agreeing or disagreeing with it.
లేదు, but you are bringing up a thought here where a certain section of people, they do
yeah, especially human rights commission,
they are sympathetic to people who commit crime.
Yeah.
They would like to go into the background, try to sympathize with him. That is their policy. It's in general that you're doing. But నేను చాలా స్పెసిఫిక్గా, if you want me to talk about these specific crimes just for the sake of a discussion, ఓకే, ఈ క్రైమ్లో నువ్వు ఇతన్ని సపోర్ట్ చేస్తావా అనేసి నేను డీటెయిల్స్ అన్ని ఇచ్చినాక నీకు, యూ విల్ నాట్ సపోర్ట్, యూ విల్ నాట్ సపోర్ట్, యూ విల్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ సింపతి ఫార్ ద క్రిమినల్. అది థియరీగా బాగుంటుంది ఫర్ వన్ సెక్షన్, జస్ట్ టు హ్యావ్ అ డిస్కషన్. నేను అగ్రీ కానది. బట్ ద క్వశ్చన్ వాజ్ నాట్ దట్. యూ బిగాన్ విత్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్. యూ సెడ్
లెర్నింగ్.
నో, లెర్నింగ్ వస్తుందిలే కానీ ఇంకొక వర్డ్ యూజ్ చేసినావు అక్కడ. యూ సెడ్ సెక్యులర్. వాజ్ జీసస్ క్రైస్ట్ అ సెక్యులర్ పర్సన్?
Yeah.
No, why are you hesitating?
Over everyone.
Why are you hesitating?
He came for everyone. Yeah, he was.
Why?
Because he came for everybody and he treated everybody with the same love, with the same thing, and he did not have any partiality or anything.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So the word secular there does not have any significance or relevance, or it need not even be used. He loved the Roman soldier.
Yeah.
He healed the Roman soldier's child, right? He loved, was concerned about the Samaritan woman.
Yeah.
And he was concerned about the man who was dying beside. So it didn't matter to him at all about the background of the person. We can't use the word secular for him. Secular అన్న మాట ఏంటంటే generally it is assumed by people. ఇట్లా అన్నంత మాత్రం నిన్నట్టు కాదు. It is looked at, or the meaning that is derived is what is non-Christian is secular. అట్లా కాదు కదా. It's just about
that is how generally it is looked at. Yes.
అట్లా that word terminology దాన్ని అట్లా యూజ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం మనకు లేదు అనేసి it is my plea.
I will ensure that I'll follow it. Yes, your advice.
అయితే ప్రశ్న ఏంటి?
But you answered that మీకు ఎప్పుడు అలాగా అనిపించలేదు, like you look at facts is what you
అంతే. But I really like that question that you brought up about సంబడి సింపథైజింగ్ విత్ క్రిమినల్. నిజంగా నవీన,
ఉన్నాయి.
నేను ఐ బికాస్ ఐ ఫాలో ఆల్ దీస్ కేసెస్ సో మచ్ సో దట్ ఇప్పుడు కూడా వెన్ ఐ టేక్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇన్ రైటింగ్ అబౌట్ కన్విక్షన్స్ ఆల్సో. క్రైమ్ అయినప్పుడు ఇట్ ఈస్
Yeah.
రిటన్ అబౌట్ కన్విక్షన్స్. నేను కొంచెం స్పెషల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ తీసుకుంటాను. ఈ రీసెంట్గా నల్గొండలో అయిన సిమిలర్ కేస్ 35 years ఇంప్రిజన్మెంట్ వచ్చింది ఒక అతనికి.
Okay.
In these cases 25 years, 20 years, especially when it is child
Hmm.
who is a victim. ఇవన్నీ కూడా when we write they become deterrents
Yeah.
అని మనం అనుకోవాల్సిందే. బట్ ద లా అండ్ ద జ్యుడిషియల్ సిస్టమ్ అండ్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ ఫంక్షనింగ్ ఆల్సో కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది.
Yes.
ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక మర్డర్ కేసులో ఇఫ్ సంబడీ ఈస్ గివెన్ అ లైఫ్ సెంటెన్స్ అంటే ఏంటిది నవీన?
Until they die, they have to be in the prison.
సింపుల్ మీనింగ్ కదా
Yeah.
లైఫ్ సెంటెన్స్ అంటే. సో ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద మీనింగ్స్ దట్ సమ్ వర్డ్స్ హ్యావ్ అక్వైర్డ్ అండ్ దట్ మీనింగ్ స్టేస్.
Yeah.
సో మన దగ్గర ఇప్పుడు లైఫ్ సెంటెన్స్ అనగానే ఇట్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఈజ్ లైఫ్ సెంటెన్స్ అంటిల్ దట్ పర్సన్ డైస్.
Guys.
బట్ దాన్ని ఎంతకాడికి తీసుకొచ్చినారంటే 14 years అని తీసుకొచ్చినారు.
Mm.
సరే 14 years అంటే దట్ క్రిమినల్ 14 years జైల్లో ఉంటాడా? 14 years కూడా ఉండడు. సో దే హ్యావ్ దేర్ ఓన్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్. లైక్ 14 years ఎన్ని అవుతాయి ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ కౌంటింగ్ డే యాజ్ 1 day and night as 1 day?
Okay, okay, okay.
Tell me.
One day లో 2 days ఉన్నట్లు.
సో 7 yearsకి వస్తున్నది. నీకు లైఫ్ సెంటెన్స్ ఎంతవరకు వచ్చేసింది ఇప్పుడు?
దాంట్లో సగం అయిపోయింది.
14 years అని ఏదో డెఫినేషన్ తోటి వచ్చింది. దాంట్లో ఇఫ్ దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ దే ఆర్ కౌంటింగ్ ఇట్స్ బికమింగ్ వాట్ 7 years. 7 yearsలో దెన్ జైల్లో గుడ్ బిహేవియర్ అనేసి ద అథారిటీస్ క్యాన్ టేక్ అ డెసిషన్ టు రిలీజ్ హిమ్ ఆన్ పరోల్ ఫర్ సమ్ టైమ్. ఆ సమ్ టైమ్ ఇట్ కెన్ ఎక్స్టెండ్ టు సమ్ మంత్స్ ఆల్సో. సో ఆయన జైల్లో ఉంటాడు, వస్తుంటాడు పోతుంటాడు. ఆల్ రైట్. సో ఆ 7 yearsలో ఎన్ని రోజులు మంత్స్ బయట ఉంటాడో ఇట్స్ దేర్ డిస్క్రిషన్.
Yeah.
Then finally, when the government wants to release certain prisoners on some days like Gandhi Jayanti or Independence Day or Republic Day, ఆఖరికి అంటే మర్డర్ అని ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇచ్చినంతే, ఇట్ నీడ్ నాట్ బి మర్డర్. 3 years వస్తుంది ఫైనలీ కౌంట్కి, ఆర్ 2 years వస్తుంది.
అది ఆ కల్ప్రిట్ కి ముందే తెలుస్తుంది. హీ విల్ ఆర్ ఐ మీన్ వాళ్ళకి ముందే ఐడియా ఉంటుందా ఇలా అవుతుంది అని.
ఒక ప్రిజనర్ మట్టుకుంటే నేను ఐ మెట్ హిమ్ అట్ చర్లపల్లి జైల్. యంగ్ మ్యాన్, he was doing very well in the jail, good behavior, he was educated, he was working with a family, then he needed money. Begumpet varaku he followed them in his car, they were going in the car, he was on a two-wheeler, he went and stopped the car and both couple nu champesindu. Then he completed the number of years and he was about to be released. నేను అడిగినాను ఆయనను, జనరల్లీ క్రిమినల్స్కి ఇప్పుడు some people who would like to display their sympathy towards criminals and try to understand their criminal mentality, they would like to use this word. ఏంటంటే తెలుగులో బాగుంటుంది అది ఆ వర్డ్. చెప్పు తెలుగులో దెర్ ఇస్ వన్ వర్డ్ దట్ దే యూజ్డ్. అంటే స్పర్ ఆఫ్ ద మూమెంట్కు హీ కమిటెడ్ దిస్ క్రైమ్ ఆన్ ద స్పర్ ఆఫ్ ద మూమెంట్. తెలుగులో ఒక వర్డ్ ఉన్నది నవీన,
స్పర్ ఆఫ్ ద మూమెంట్.
అది ఇంగ్లీష్లో కానీ దాన్ని తెలుగులో ఒక వర్డ్ ఉన్నది. ఓకే, సో దట్స్ ద వర్డ్ దే యూజ్. లైక్ దట్ క్రిమినల్, నేను ఇది ఆయన అడిగినాను, అరే ఇద్దరిని చంపేసినావు కదా, ఇట్ హ్యాపెన్ ఆన్ ద స్పర్ ఆఫ్ ద మూమెంట్ అంటే దట్ మ్యాన్ టెల్స్ మీ ఇట్ డిడ్ నాట్ హ్యాపెన్ ఆన్ ద స్పర్ ఆఫ్ ద మూమెంట్.
ఆవేశం,
క్షణికావేశం అను,
క్షణికావేశం,
శని కాదు క్షణికావేశం.
క్షణికావేశం,
రైట్. సో అరే క్షణికావేశంలో హీ కమిటెడ్ దిస్ క్రైమ్ అనేసి. దే డోంట్ అగ్రీ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ క్షణికావేశం. దిస్ మ్యాన్ టెల్స్ మీ ఐ ప్లాన్డ్ ఇట్. I planned it because he wants to take credit. His satisfaction lies in taking the credit for what he's done. So if somebody is dismissing it as kshanikavesham, spur of the moment, he doesn't like it.
See, that is what, no, that this is when this human rights and everybody will come in between and give that philosophical aspect to it, saying that he's mentally unstable and things.
అవును. I might be sounding like I am not in favor of criminals, which I am.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I am not in favor because I go case by case. Alright. ఆ క్షణికావేశంది నేనైతే అగ్రీ కాను.
Okay.
So this man said, I did it. And I have faced this prison. I am going out now. That is how the
Is this the same case even in the abroad, or only in India it's like this? Or
ఇండియాలోనే అవుతుంది. ఐ డోంట్ నో అబౌట్ అదర్ కంట్రీస్. వేరే కంట్రీస్లోనే అయితే 80 years, 90 years, 150 years కూడా జైలు ఇస్తుంటారు. వేరే కంట్రీస్లో ఇంకో ఇమీడియట్ డెత్ కూడా. These Gulf countries.
Yes, yeah.
For
What is your opinion on death penalty? Do you think that is fair? Like some cases they will outrightly give death penalty. Only if you want to answer this question, you answer, uncle. Otherwise, వద్దు.
లేదు, ఐఎమ్ సిట్టింగ్ హియర్ టు ఆన్సర్ బికాజ్ ఐ రియలీ ఐఎమ్ కన్సర్న్డ్ అబౌట్ ద జ్యుడిషియల్ సిస్టమ్ ఆల్సో. వాళ్ళు అల్టిమేట్లీ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డిపెండ్ ఆన్ ద జ్యుడిషియరీ టు గివ్ దిస్ సెంటెన్స్. నోబడి ఎల్స్ కెన్ గివ్. Some people, some policemen, some politicians may take the law into their hands and do something, but we will have to respect the judiciary. So I will respect the judiciary, and if in India there is death penalty, I will definitely agree with it.
Okay. Wow. Bold. Yeah.
I will definitely agree with it. అరే ఆ కసబ్ ఉన్నాడు కదా, కసబ్ ఎవరు?
The Mumbai attacks.
ముంబై అటాక్స్. అతను ఒక బోట్లో వచ్చేసి somehow he got into Mumbai and he goes on a shooting spree. రైల్వే స్టేషన్లో పోతాడు. మా ఆఫీస్ గోడ ఎక్కి విండో దగ్గర నిలబడ్డాడు.
Oh my God.
It was near the railway station. So one of my photographers, he took a picture of him from inside.
Why was that?
He was escaping. He was in the railway station and while escaping ఆ స్టెప్స్ ఇట్లా ఉంటాయి, కిందికి వచ్చేసినాక మా ఆఫీస్ ఉంటుంది అక్కడ
Okay.
ముంబైలో. సో టు ఎస్కేప్ హీ గాట్ ఆన్ టు ద బిల్డింగ్ ఆల్సో పార్ట్లీ. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ దుంకి వెళ్ళిపోయిండు. అండ్ కసబ్ ఏం చేసినంటే వన్స్ హీ వాస్ కాట్, bold police officers who caught him after he killed so many people. Then they found some identities on him. ఆయన అడ్రస్ ఎక్కడ ఇచ్చిండు చెప్పు? వాట్ అడ్రస్ తెలుసా? He is from Pakistan.
Yeah, that I know. Yes.
బట్ ఆయన ఇచ్చిన అడ్రస్ మా ఇంటి దగ్గర. From his pocket they found an identity card which said he was studying in a college in Dilsukh Nagar.
Oh.
And he was living in a colony close to Nagul. To stay, just to show Indian connection.
Idea.
It was false. He was in prison. Then some people, some politicians who had to take a call on implementing the death penalty for him, they sat on those files. ఇంకా పేరు చెప్తే నువ్వు పరేషాన్ అయిపోతావు, కానీ ఇక వాళ్ళు చేయలేదు. Maybe their thinking was different. But once another president took over, he took a quick decision and said, you implement this. Now if the judiciaryలో mistakes కావని కాదేమో, అవుతుందో చెప్పుడన్నా. Some of these death penalties have also been turned down, changed. But still, I would like to believe in the Indian judiciary system and in this government which has done this, which implements this.
So journalists are supposed to state facts, right? And but sometimes the human nature gets into the journalist. So has there been any situation where you are actually narrating the whole or reporting the whole incident, but you have this urge of putting forth your opinion also, but
it is a cardinal rule in journalism that you should not put any of your opinions or allow your emotions to interfere or intervene. News report రాసేటప్పుడు అలాంటిది ఏమి ఉండదు. It's a straight news report.
Okay.
It has never happened. It will not happen. It is not allowed to happen. But వేరే దగ్గర నువ్వు ఎక్కడైనా చూసినట్టయితే అది అవుతుంటుంది. బికాస్ ద డిస్కషన్ నౌ దట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇస్ ఎంపతి ఉండాలా, సింపతి ఉండాలా అంటే ఉంచుకో, బట్ ఇక్కడ స్ట్రేట్ ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ మనం రిపోర్ట్ చేయాలి. యూ షుడ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ ద రీడర్ ఇస్ మోర్ ఇంటెలిజెంట్ దెన్ ద రైటర్.
Okay.
The reader wants facts straight. He would like to depend on his own judgment.
Yeah.
So let's respect the reader and give him the facts that you are, as a journalist, duty bound to give. అట్లని ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ ఉండదని కాదు, బికాస్ దెర్ ఆర్ వర్క్ అరౌండ్స్ ఆల్సో. నేను ఇప్పుడే నీకు మెన్షన్ చేశాను, నేను ఐ మేక్ ఇట్ అ పాయింట్ యాజ్ ఫార్ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్ టు రిపోర్ట్ అబౌట్ కన్విక్షన్స్ ఆల్సో. కావాలంటే నేను అవాయిడ్ చేయొచ్చు, but why do I want to report about convictions? Because I want that people should know that they will be punished for this. అవి అన్నీ రిపోర్ట్ చేయకపోతే ఏం కాదు, బికాస్ ఆ దినం ఏమవుతుందో దట్ ఈస్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్.
Yeah.
బట్ ఐ డూ దట్, సో ఐ టేక్ అ కాన్షియస్ డెసిషన్ టు రిపోర్ట్ దట్. అందులో మళ్ళీ నా ఒపీనియన్ ఏముండదు. ఇట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద జడ్జ్ సేస్, వాట్ ద జడ్జ్ గివ్స్,
Yeah.
వాట్ ద పోలీస్ సే అండ్ వాట్ ద ఇష్యూ.
Is it the same case with the documentaries? Like only stating facts, not any opinion?
అవును, స్టేటింగ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్సే.
But then I've seen one documentary, In the Name of the Lord, Ankunta. It's, it revolves around that Babri Masjid thing and the caste system.
There are different types of documentaries. If one wants to make,
But Adi Mali, they are indirectly, though they are stating facts, it is also.
అవును, యా, సో దే హ్యావ్ అ పర్పస్ విత్ దట్. నువ్వు నా సంగతి మాట్లాడుతున్నట్టయితే
Yes.
నాకు ఫ్యాక్ట్సే కావాలా. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఇన్ ఫిక్షన్. బట్ డాక్యుమెంటరీస్ ఆర్ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్. దే వుడ్ లైక్, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక డాక్యుమెంటరీ చూసిన విచ్ వాజ్ మేడ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ మై ఫ్రెండ్స్. ఈ అమరావతిలో దే బాట్ ల్యాండ్, పీపుల్ బాట్ ల్యాండ్, ద క్యాపిటల్ ప్లాన్స్ డింట్ వర్క్ అవుట్, సో దే వర్ లూజింగ్ అవుట్ ఆన్ దేర్ మనీ. A documentary was made and screened. So this was from the perspective of people who bought that land and then they were suffering losses because of that. All right, it's like you want to tell your story,
Okay.
your own story from your own perspective. That liberty you always have.
Got it. Is there any influential figure that you have interviewed and that has stayed with you, or any influential words from someone? Two questions in one question, actually. Influential figure and influential words from the stories that you've covered.
కొంచెము it may sound like this man is proud if I answer the question. I have not allowed myself to be under anybody's influence with their words or with their personality. So I have shaped myself to be in the way that I want. And I want, until throughout my career, Navina, I want you to understand that there is one verse in the Bible. If I'm not wrong, it is in Exodus 23. It says, "Thou shalt not spread or be a false witness." Or it's like, it summarizes how a journalist has to be. You should not, I think simple words cheppalante, you should not spread false information.
Yeah.
My life, my profession is about telling facts, and there is a lot of difference between truth and fact. Okay, we can only tell what facts we have gathered at that point of time. I do not know who can tell the truth. If that is the truth, I do not know who can claim to be telling what the truth is, and who can examine this person and understand if this is the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a different subject. So we mainly deal with facts, and facts are what are. So I derive my inspiration from Exodus 23, wherein it says, "No spreading of rumors, no spreading falsehood. You should be true in what you say." And truth as such is mentioned in several places, but I'm not referring to the verses which talk about truth. I'm specifically talking about you not spreading rumors or
Got it. Yeah.
writing only what is right.
The values that you are learning in your faith, has it shaped your career?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It's all based on the Bible. It's all based on what the Gospels talk about, what Jesus talks about. Right from my childhood, I have always stuck to the Bible, and my belief is not really religious. Because I like philosophy also. As much as I've read the Bible, I've also explored other faiths, other thinking, because there were people who lived before Jesus also,
Yeah.
like all those people like Aristotle and these Greek philosophers. I've explored their works also, what they speak, why they speak that. Jesus Christ and his words, which you see in the Bible, they're so full of love. He respects an individual, he loves an individual, and he gives us the way on how to live on this earth. And those work wonders. Today, in today's generation, or today aniga, in the world itself, Nico, the talk that happens, the language that is used is so different. But biblical teaching, it sounds so alien and in sharp contrast to what is spoken about in the world. But I believe in what Jesus says for every aspect of my life.
So looking back over your entire career, which is 37 plus years, so what keeps you moving forward each day? Do you never get bored at all?
One thing that one of my colleagues was asking me, ఒక్క నిమిషం కూడా, ఒక్క సెకండ్ కూడా, I've never faced boredom in my life. Constantly I do a lot of things simultaneously.
Okay. So you have won awards also, right, Uncle? So many awards. So do they build any sort of pride in you?
ఒక దాని తర్వాత ఒకటి వెళ్ళిపోతూనే ఉంటాను నెక్స్ట్ దానికి.
Okay.
ఇక దాన్ని పట్టుకొని ఉండడం ఏం లేదు.
మళ్ళీ దానికి ఇంకా అవార్డ్
That becomes history. Then you work on something
winning
else.
awards is like a pattern for you know.
నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేద్దాం అనేసి ఉంటుంది అంతే.
Yeah. So but do they hold a lot of importance in your life, or make what satisfies you? Does it satisfy
it does,
you?
and somebody else appreciating that kind of, I'm talking only about documentaries, somebody else also thinking on the same lines, and ఒక 10 documentaries పెట్టుకొని నాది మంచిగా ఉంది అంటే, if a jury which I do not know has decided that, definitely it's a matter of joy kada.
Yeah. So you're also into folklore, burra kathalu,
Yes.
and those things. So you are also into singing then, a little bit.
నేను సింగరే నవీన.
Ah.
ఎందుకు అట్లా చూస్తున్నావు? He's claiming himself to be a singer.
No.
I've recorded quite a few songs. I've recorded quite a few songs.
మీరు కొన్ని ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ లో పాడారు కూడా.
పాడినాను, అవి కొన్ని పాటలు కూడా పాడినాను. But you can listen to my songs which I recorded. By God's grace, I first composed my song, Sunday school songs, when I was in 8th standard.
Okay.
So akkadiki velli I would have composed something like 60-70 songs, all of them for children in Sunday schools or for camps, which are now also being sung by many churches also, peddalaku.
Yeah. Your son is also quite, like everybody knows your son on the internet. I see him doing such amazing work. So do you think that inspiration is drawn from you?
It's a blessing. I am not the inspiring figure for him, because I did not want him to get into journalism in so many terms. I'm saying that, and because I told it to him also. He did his engineering. Dan tarvata he got interested in journalism by himself.
Yeah.
I said, why do you want to do the same thing? నువ్వు వేరే చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా అంటే, but he chose to join in City University London. He got a seat in several, but this was the best, so he did his masters there, and last 5 years he's been 4-5 years he's been working in London for the Daily Mail.
Yeah, and your wife is an artist, right? She does so many handloom.
Yes, she does. She's a kalamkari and batik artist. She used to work for Genpact before.
Okay.
She worked for 20 years. Then she took an interest in this, so she started her own brand.
Yeah, you didn't want your son to get into journalism.
Yes.
But what is the reason?
వేరే చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా, నేను చేస్తున్నా కదా, ఇది మళ్ళీ నీ లైఫ్ లో కూడా అదే చూస్తుండాలా నేను?
Okay, or is it because it's a risky thing?
No.
But what did you face any of such kind of situations where your life was at a risk?
అంత సీన్ లేదు.
Okay.
ఎవరు నా ఎంబడి పడలే కత్తులు కటారాలు తీసుకొని నేను చంపుదామనేసి. అది ఎప్పుడైతుందంటే, వెన్ యూ గో బియాండ్ యువర్ లిమిట్స్, you take too much of liberty in the way you phrase your stories. Maakemo, we know how a story has to be written. Okay, so, but I did have to face the court of law.
Yeah, which is even scary because it's court of law. Yeah.
Yes. So, atla it happened, but nothing like trying to say that సినిమాలలో చూపిస్తారు చూడు, జర్నలిస్ట్
Okay.
ఎంబడి కత్తులు కటారాలు పట్టుకొని కూడా అంతేం
Yeah.
లేకుండే నాకు.
Okay. So if you have to give an advice to a person who wants to pursue journalism
Ah.
or wants to get into media,
Ah.
do you have any advice for
Yes,
this
yes, yes,
generation?
yes, yes. Every day is filled with excitement. And I can say that about any profession that one is getting into. But journalism is very, very, very special. I have a bias towards it. I think there's no other profession that can claim to give so much of joy, satisfaction, and thrill. I started writing a blog several years ago,
Okay.
and so that I won't forget all those instances. Now, lately, in the last few days, I've also created a custom GPT on ChatGPT, and I've made lessons out of all these stories that I narrated. So if a journalism student wants to learn something from my life, and నా లైఫ్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఏం నేర్చుకోవాలంటే ఇట్స్ అబౌట్ దోస్ ఇన్సిడెంట్స్. ఇట్ కెన్ హ్యాపెన్ టు ఎనీబడి, బట్ ఐ పుట్ డౌన్ ద స్టోరీ అండ్ ఐ ఫార్మాటెడ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ద way a lesson is taught. One is called, you can find this in custom GPTs on ChatGPT. One is called The Adventures of a Cub Reporter.
Okay.
There are some lessons there. దాని మీద టింటిన్ బొమ్మ ఉంటుంది.
Mm-hmm.
టింటిన్ ఈజ్ అ జర్నలిస్ట్.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Adventures of Tintin, that
Huh.
thing. Yeah.
So Tintin is a journalist. So Tintin boma పెట్టిన నేను. Then another thing is I called it the misadventures of a cub reporter. Cub అంటే somebody who's starting
Yeah.
early phase of your journalism. I call it misadventures of a cub reporter. So there are 30 lessons now available for journalism students to read and understand what they can get out of journalism if that is a passion that they are
So that is where you
pursuing.
can find the advice from Mr. Sushil.
From the lessons, yes, because I've given several ఏమంటారు,
Tidbits.
yeah, I did that also, but some homework also for them
Okay.
to do, strictly in the form of a
Okay.
lesson.
Super.
It's like an open source learning for
Okay.
journalism students.
Super.
ChatGPT పోతే go to GPTs, and I've through all my AI learnings only I created all this.
Wow. Yeah. What is a legacy that you would want to leave?
If journalism is what you have chosen, anyone can say anything about their own profession also. First thing is you are answerable to your conscience. You should not forget that. But your conscience also can permit you to do certain wrong things. So you have to cultivate a conscience which tells you that this is right, this is wrong. And
Yeah.
stick to your conscience, be answerable to yourself, and always think of your reader, because he's trusting you. And your job is to give what is trustworthy information,
Yeah.
which is what I have done.
And how do you want to be remembered? Like, I know that is a very negative question, but how do you want people to remember you?
Right from the beginning, choose from my early career only. My writings definitely has given me more friends, and people used to look forward to reading my articles. There was a time కొంచెం ప్రౌడ్గా అనిపిస్తుంది కానీ, but this is something fascinating really. I was not in this organization, but I was working in another organization at that time. So one person came up on the floor. He just got an entry and he came. Then I went and asked him, just being polite, asked him if he was looking for something or somebody, because there was nobody else. Then he said, I've come to see Sushil Rao. And I said, I'm Sushil Rao. Then he didn't want to believe, he didn't expect somebody like me to show up and claim to be
Yeah.
Sushil Rao.
Yeah.
So that was the impact of my writings. People would come to see me. People would come to would write letters to me regularly. This is pre-digital media era. So more than anybody remembering me, I remember all this love that I've got from people. And when I look back, I'm really satisfied, happy, overjoyed.
So that's not the answer to my question, though.
Why would anyone want to remember me, చెప్పు నాకు? Navina, why would anyone want to remember? Life
Maybe for
goes
the
on.
amazing work that you do.
No,
And
life goes on for everyone. Life goes on for everyone.
okay.
I don't think anybody in specific would like to. Uh, Sandarbham vaste, yeah, people remember in
Okay.
a context. And in
Like a
that
good
context,
writer or journalist or, you know.
someone who had a conscience and was also conscious about writing some things that benefit people and society. It was not journalism for the sake of just writing, for which I began,
Yeah.
but this was with a purpose, a reason.
Yeah.
If they can see that in my writings, I'll be happy.
Awesome. So that brings to the end of our interview. To the end. It brings to the end. It's not the end because we
Acha.
have a rapid fire
Acha.
round now.
అంటే ఏం చేయాలి ర్యాపిడ్ ఫైర్ అంటే?
Rapid answers ఇవ్వాలి మీరు. Are you ready?
Yeah, tell me.
Get set, go. Tea or coffee?
A tea I like.
First thing you read every morning.
I check my WhatsApp.
You read every morning. So you read WhatsApp message.
Right.
Okay. One word that describes journalism today.
Brave.
Print, podcast or video your
Print.
favorite. The most Hyderabad thing about you.
I like tandoor roti a lot.
Okay. One documentary of yours you would show to the aliens visiting Earth. Just a fun.
Oscar Challagariga.
Okay. If AI made a movie about your life, what would it be called?
That's a good one. AI and me.
Okay. So simple.
Ah,
AI and me, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Burakatha or breaking news, which gets your heartbeat faster?
breaking news.
Okay. A habit that drives your editors crazy.
నాది ఒక స్టైల్ ఆఫ్ ఫంక్షనింగ్ ఉంటుంది. ఐ డూ మై వర్క్ ఫాస్ట్, ఇక పోయి అందరినీ డిస్టర్బ్ చేస్తుంటా ఆఫీస్లో.
Okay. The most overused phrase in Indian media.
దట్ బ్రేకింగ్ న్యూస్ థింగ్ విచ్ ఇస్ యాజ్ ఓల్డ్ యాజ్ 8 hours or 10 hours.
Okay. One headline you would love to see in your lifetime.
మొన్ననే రీసెంట్లీ సంబడి రోట్ క్రేటర్ హైదరాబాద్ అనేసి
Okay.
describing the potholes
So
in
you've already
Hyderabad.
seen it.
I thought I liked it. I liked it most. Sometimes I tell my people also, that individual, that this is splendid, Aneshi.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have thought of this.
Ah.
So if something else is coming, yes.
Yes. What is the best advice you have received so far?
Advice, తీసుకోండి నేను.
Teeskoru.
తీసుకోండి.
Okay. Okay. Huh. So if you have, okay, there are so many questions, but I'll list out two.
There are some people who came to me and said, I want to give you an advice. అయితే దానికి నేను చార్జ్ అవుతుందని చెప్పిన నేను. There is a charge if you want to give me an advice.
Yeah. I will never do it then. I don't think I have so much of potential also to advise you. Anyway, yeah. List out one thing that's annoying about your wife and your son, but you also find it secretly cute.
My son is more close to my wife.
Okay.
All right. So he calls me every day, but they speak for much longer time, and I like it that way.
Okay.
I like it that way. But that's not annoying. ఇంట్లో కూడా
Annoying, but you find it cute. That's the question.
annoying. See, sometimes when he visits us in India, he's more with her than
Okay.
me. So I go and
Okay.
join the bandwagon.
Yeah. About your wife?
Oh, she's great. Put it more frankly,
Okay.
properly, she's very independent.
Yeah.
She's very independent, which is why she's come so far.
Okay. Wow. If journalism died tomorrow, what headline would you write for its obituary?
Oh, obituary of journalism.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Sure. Your favorite place to think. I mean, whenever you have to write. Or
Dangerous place. Once I'm on my cot, as if it's the end of the day, that is when I get more ideas, you know.
One thing people don't know about you.
People don't know about me is that I don't know myself enough.
If your story had an ending line, what would it be?
This is not the ending.
That's it. We've come to the end of the show. We have a small gift for you.
Okay. I would like to thank you, Navina, for inviting me for this podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed my conversation with you. you gave me the liberty to be myself. I
Thank
am
you.
really thankful to you for thinking of me, because this podcast is very, very special for me. Uh, as I said, I'm 57 now, and I retire in January next year.
Oh.
So you brought my entire life here
Oh,
in this podcast.
honored. I won the award, guys. All the awards that Uncle won, I won in one go. Thank you so much.